Okay, today we are going to see process schedulers. Sorry. So even to discuss process schedulers, we need process transition diagram. So quickly I draw it. Whenever a program starts its execution, it is in new state. Then it comes to ready state. This is called admit. If a process starts its execution, it comes to main memory and temporarily it stores on the main memory, and the process is waiting in ready queue, ready state, until it allocates to the CPU, right? Then it goes to running state. It goes to running state. This is called dispatch. These things we have discussed in detail. Today I'm going to explain the schedulers. So to explain schedulers, we need these 7-state process transition diagram, students. So a running process, if it needs IO event, it may comes to blocked state. If it complete its execution, it goes to terminated state. Okay, if execution is completed, it goes to completed, it goes to terminated state. If it needs IO event, or even we can say IO request, it comes to blocked state. And even a running process can, that means execution of a process can be stopped and it can sense to ready queue again. Okay, actually this is called context switching. I'll explain context switching later on. And this is because up to timeout and the priority based. If a process running on the CPU, if the allocated time quantum is finished, it stop its execution and save the state, and it sent to that particular process into ready queue, and next process comes to the CPU. Next process is allocated to the CPU for its execution. And these are the 1 2 3 4 5 state process transition diagram. Another 2 state, students, if they ask, that means if you consider the main memory, the capacity of the main memory is limited. Therefore, if there's no enough space in main memory, a process in ready queue, there are many processes in ready queue. Processes in ready queue may move to the suspend ready state. Suspend ready state. That is called sap out, or we can call it as suspend. Even we can call it as sap out. And whenever the space in main memory is available, suspend, the processes in suspend ready state goes to ready state, that is called resume, or even we can say it as swap in. A processes in blocked state. Why a process came to blocked state, students? Why a process came to blocked state? Processes are come,
IOU.
yeah, to, that means to accomplish its IO task, it need an IO request. So to complete IO request, processes are sent to blocked state. If IO even complete, it goes to ready state. IO complete, or even we can say IO occurs. IO after IO completion, it goes to ready state. But the here blocked state processes also resides in main memory. So if there's no enough space in main memory, the storage capacity of main memory is limited. So if there's no enough space in main memory, the processes in blocked state may move to suspend blocked state. Suspend blocked state. So this is called suspend, or even we can say swap out. And if there's enough space available in main memory, suspend blocked state processes move to the blocked state again. That is called resume, or even we can say swap in. A process in blocked state can complete its IO request. If it complete its IO request, it goes to ready state. A process in suspend blocked state also can complete its IO request in this state, then it can't go to blocked state again. Hope it's clear, students. A process in suspend block states even can complete its IO request in this particular state. So if it is complete its IO request, it goes to suspend ready. That means IO complete. It goes to suspend ready, then it can resume to ready and go to running state. So these are the 7 state process transition diagram. I already explained these each and every state in detail. So today we're gonna see process scheduler, students. Whenever a process starts its execution, process may stay these 7 states: new, ready, running, blocked, suspend ready, terminated. All these states, a process may going through all these states until its execution complete, or until it is terminated. Okay, so if you consider new state, there are 3 kinds of schedulers. Schedulers means arrange the processes and in an organized manner. That is called scheduler. So 3 kinds of schedulers work in this 7 state process transition diagram, students. Because if you consider here, many processes can start its execution at the same time. It is possible. Many processes can start its execution at the same time. Then those processes should admit to the ready state. Then how to admit? Who admit first? Who admits second? What is the order? Those kind of things decided by long-term scheduler. It is called long-term scheduler. Okay. At the same time, many processes can start its execution. Then all those processes should move to the ready state. So which process move first and which process move next? Likewise, the organized manner, the processes in new state sent to the admit to the ready state in an organized manner, that is handled by long-term scheduler. That is called long-term scheduler. Right. If it comes to ready state, there may have several processes, multiple processes at the same time, but CPU can run only one process at a time. Only one process can exist in running state at a time. So Here many processes are waiting. One process only allowed to access the CPU at a time. So it is scheduled by short-term scheduler. It is scheduled by short-term scheduler. Short-term scheduler. Suppose there are 10 processes waiting. So a process is running. Currently a process is running. If it goes to terminated, if it goes to blocked, if it comes to ready state, next process, what is the next process to be assigned to the CPU? It is decided by short-term scheduler. Okay, it is done by short-term scheduler. It is organized by short-term scheduler. Here, processes are in new state, should admit to the ready state. So what is the order? How to admit them? Those things are organized, or those things are handled by long-term scheduler. Okay, and whenever a process is running, if it needs IO request, it may comes to block state, and we'll think there are more and more IO bound processes. You know what is IO bound, what is CPU bound. What is IO bound, students? IO bound process means, what do you mean by IO bound process?
More time taken for input output device.
Yeah, if a process need more input output time, that is called IO bound process. Then CPU bound process. Yes, what do you mean by CPU bound process?
More time needed for CPU.
Yeah, if a process need more time in CPU while executing, it is called CPU bound process. So suppose if there's many processes, IO bound processes, so those processes comes to running state, and all those processes going to blocked state, because those processes IO bound. So those processes need IO events to complete. So in blocked state, there may have many processes. In blocked state, there may have many processes. So whenever the capacity of the main memory is less, or capacity of the main memory is low, then these processes in block state have to move on to the suspend block. So which process, many processes are there, so which process move to suspend block, for which process given the priority to send it to suspend block, that is handled by midterm scheduler. Midterm scheduler. And another place is their midterm scheduler works. Ready state, there may have many processes. If there's no enough space in main memory, so processes in the ready state should move to suspend ready. So many processes are there. Which process move first, which process move second, likewise it is decided, or it is managed by midterm scheduler. It is handled by midterm scheduler. These three are the schedulers working 7-state process transition diagram, students. When a process is start its execution until its termination, three kinds of schedulers works in these places. So here, new to ready, long-term scheduler, ready to running, short-term scheduler, block to suspend blocked, or ready to suspend ready, mid-term scheduler. Is it clear, students? Or do you have any questions or doubts?
Clear,
Yes.
sir.
Don't you have any questions? Don't you have doubts? I have some doubts. Don't you have some doubts? Students? Yeah. I'm asking a question. Why here to here no scheduler? Why here to here no scheduler? Why here to here no scheduler? Only schedulers in new to ready, ready to running, block to suspend blocked, ready to suspend ready. Then running to terminated, no scheduler is there. Running to block, no scheduler is there. What's the reason? Can you explain it? Don't you have a problem? Don't you have a
Long
question
term
like that? Yeah?
LTA is already scheduled.
Yeah, LTS already scheduled, new to ready, no? New to ready. Processes are in new state, admit to the ready state by LTS, long-term scheduler. Processes are in ready state, sent to the running state by short-term scheduler. That is done by short-term scheduler. Processes are in blocked state or ready state, sent to the suspend ready or suspend blocked by mid-term scheduler. I'm asking process in running state to terminated, running state to block state. Why there's no any scheduler? What's the reason? Do you have any idea? Right. Okay, students. So here many processes are there. Here many processes are there. Here many processes are there. But here only one process is there. Isn't it? CPU can, that means CPU can allocate to the only one process at a time. So no need a scheduler. Isn't it, students? Can CPU run many processes at a time? Is it possible?
Can't.
No, it is not possible. So only one process is there. If it goes to terminated state, no problem. Only one process, we can send it to the terminated. If that particular process need IO request, then we can send it to the blocked state. But blocked state, many processes are there. So which one to send suspend blocked? We have to decide it. Here, no need to decide it. Only one process is there. So we can send it to, if it is complete its execution, send it to terminated. If it needs, if that particular process need IO request, can send it to block state. If the timeout or priority based, that process send to ready state. That means switch into ready state. But here we can't do like that. Here many processes may be there. So from those processes, that means which process should be select to next state, which process move to next state. Likewise, have to schedule. That's why 3 schedulers are there. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, students, these are the 3 kinds of schedulers used in process management: long-term scheduler, short-term scheduler, and mid-term scheduler. Right. So do you want notes, students? I'll give 3 types of schedulers, but do you want notes related to each scheduler? Or can you write a note? I have explained it. What about you? What's your idea?
We need notes.
Sorry?
We need notes.
Need notes, right? Okay. Okay, students, then write a heading as scheduler. Write down a heading. No need to draw this diagram. You can note down this using another pen. That means different color pen. You can mark it in your, already you have drawn this diagram. 7-state process transition diagram. Use another pen and mark LTS, STS, MTS. Quickly mark it, students. After marked, please raise your hands. Then we'll have a that means a short brief note related to this. Students, don't you have a question why those schedulers called long term, short term, and mid term? Don't you have a question? Don't you have a doubt why it is called as long term, short term, mid term? Right, I'll explain it quickly. So here, this is happen after a long time. That means always processes are not starts. I have already explained which kind of situation, that means what situations processes are starts. A user can start a process, an operating system can start a process, or a parent process can start a sub process. In such situations only a new process starts. So in that time, long-term scheduler schedules that and admit those processes into ready state. So the frequency of happening, frequency of working, functioning this long-term scheduler is low. That's why long-term scheduler. If we consider short-term scheduler, frequency is very high, students, because if a process is running, it can goes to terminated, it can goes to blocked, it can switch on to ready state, then next state should, next process have to select next process and send it to, assign it to CPU. It is frequently happen. For example, if here 10 processes are there, only 10 processes start its execution and long-term scheduler send those 10 processes into ready queue. But these 10 processes not 10 times coming to CPU. It may comes 1000 times. According to the time quantum, a process comes to here, and if timeout, it goes to ready state, and again it comes to here, and if timeout, it goes to ready state, and if it need IO request, it comes to block state. If it terminated, it completed, it goes to terminated state. So short-term scheduler, the frequency of short-term scheduler is very high. That's why it is called as short-term. Here frequency is low, so long-term. It takes long-term. Here short-term, and here it is mid-term. That means processes may comes to IO. If a process needs to IO request, it comes to block state. There may have several processes in block state, or there may have several processes in ready state. If there's no enough space, if there's lack of space in main memory, so the processes move to the suspend ready. And if there's space is available, again those suspend ready states comes to resume. That means resume to the ready state. If there's enough space in main memory, suspend blocks processes again resume to the block state. So the frequency is middle. So here high frequency, higher frequency, that means short term scheduler. Here medium frequency, mid term scheduler. Here very low frequency, so therefore long term scheduler. Hope it's clear, students. Right, we'll have a note related to this. Very brief note. Hope it's enough because I have explained the needed things. Right, put the heading as scheduler, students. Scheduler. Actually, scheduler is a special system software, okay, which handles process scheduling in various states. Okay, write down there. First point, schedulers are special system software. Schedulers are special system software which handles process scheduling, in various states. State means new, ready, running, blocked, suspend, ready, likewise. Schedulers are special system software which handles process scheduling in various states. The main, same point, the main task of scheduler is to select the processes, or even we can say to pick the processes, to select the processes to be submitted into next state. Select the processes to be submitted into next state. Actually, here processes submitted, that order is decided by long-term scheduler. So here processes submitted to CPU, that order, that priority is that means decided by the short-term scheduler likewise. Okay, students, next point, there are 3 types of schedulers. Next point, write down there. Second point, there are 3 types of schedulers. Write down 3 types of schedulers, students. Long-term scheduler, mid-term scheduler, and short-term scheduler. There are 3 types of schedulers: long-term scheduler, mid-term scheduler, and short-term scheduler. Okay, we'll have a very brief note related to those 3 schedulers. So first one, put a subheading as long-term scheduler. Even there's another name for long-term scheduler, that is called job scheduler. Within brackets, write down job scheduler. Long-term scheduler, within brackets, job scheduler. Okay, write down there, students. Long-term scheduler, job scheduler. A long-term scheduler determines what are the processes to be submitted. What are the processes to be submitted from new state to running state? Sorry, from new state to ready state. From new state to ready state. A long-term scheduler determines what are the processes to be submitted from new state to ready state. Another 1 point, it's better to write another 1 point. Long-term scheduler controls the degree of multi-programming. I'll explain it, students. Long-term scheduler controls the degree of multi-programming. What do you mean by degree of multi-programming? In ready state, there may have many processes, students. Actually, how many processes can reside in ready state at a time is called as degree of multi-programming. For example, there is up to, that means according to the computer to computer, it may change. Okay, at a time 100 processes can reside ready queue. The degree of multi-programming is 100. If another computer, degree of multi-programming may be 50 or 70. That means at the same time, how many processes can exist in the ready queue, in ready state, or the main memory is called as degree of multi-programming. So this degree of multi-programming is controlled or handled by long-term scheduler. Okay, right, hope it's clear. Then put the second subheading, mid-term scheduler. Mid-term scheduler. Long-term scheduler, I have given another name, job scheduler. Likewise, mid-term scheduler, we are using another name, that is swapping scheduler. Swapping scheduler. Mid-term scheduler, within brackets, swapping scheduler. Right, write down a point, students. The mid-term scheduler processes from main memory and place them on secondary memory. We are discussing about midterm scheduler. That means here block to suspend blocked and ready to suspend ready. Okay, right. So the midterm scheduler pick processes from main memory and place them on secondary memory. Or vice versa. That means same thing may happen, suspend block to blocked and suspend ready to ready. Right. Second point, midterm scheduler handles we have to write these two students. Midterm scheduler works or functions in two places. Midterm scheduler handles, just a minute, blocked processes, suspend blocked, ready processes, suspend ready. Midterm scheduler handles, right, processes in blocked state and processes in ready state.
Can you repeat that point?
Just a minute. Right, I have to make that sentence properly. Midterm scheduler, just a minute. Process in ready state, about to suspend ready. Yes, we'll write like this. Cut that point, students. Write like this. A process in ready state. A process in ready state. Swap out to the suspend ready. A process in ready state, swap out, or even we can say suspend. Okay, swap out to the suspend ready and resume back to the ready state. Resume back to the ready state.
So can you repeat it again?
Yeah, a process in ready state, swap out to the suspend ready. Have you complete?
Ready state after that.
Yeah, a process in ready state, swap out to the suspend ready state and resume back to the ready state. And resume back to the ready state